Hey guys, Tyro here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Kholodny Ferma. Playing for today, spawning on the right we have GMAD / Señor Jäger. Playing as OKW, and his loadout is Elite Armor, Overwatch, and Breakthrough. Facing off against him on the right we have Wix as US Forces, who has Heavy Cavalry, Recon Support, and Mechanized. In terms of ranks, Señor Jäger rank 86 OKW at the moment, Wix rank 79 US Forces, so very evenly matched these two players are, so looking forward to see how they get on. So first engagement, we usually take quite a lot of damage making their way into the house, so we're going to lose this. But going to hold the line until then. See Wix making his way through to the middle. We want Señor Jäger capping up the other side of the map with his Fox Grenadiers. Generally, when you try to go on the aggressive with your Stern Pioneers, you need to send one of your first two Fox Grenadier squads along to support as well, otherwise the push tends to run out of steam. So perhaps a slight error there from Señor Jäger. Tries to get into the building. It's caught out in the open by rifles. Trying to make his way back to the heavy cover, but damage has already been done. The rifleman should be able to win from that range. It'll take a long time, but that's how it goes. So rifles down onto the munitions point. We've got 3 Fox Grenadiers encircling them here though. Gonna make use of those sandbags. Actually, he's trying to engage from the non-negative cover part of the road. Nicely done. Fox meanwhile capping in the middle. So this has been a good way to deny the munitions to Wix at the very least. And here comes a rifle squad coming around the corner. Didn't bring the third squad down to assist in this engagement and could end up costing him here. The squad gets forced away early. And this one backpedaling to the field. Going to try to hold the line from there. This engagement is going very, very slowly as predicted, but Tempo is now down to 2 models. Here we go. Vox finally coming down from the mid VP, but is losing control of the VP in the south. Michelin staying relevant, you know, they're low in health, low on models, but still been using it to cap up those sectors in the far sides of the map, so good idea from Wix. Just trying to get engagement going from back here. Oh. Ooh. Just as I was praising him for his re-echelons there, back-capping. Doesn't pay attention to them for a moment, and in come these Fox Grenadiers. We end up wiping them out between the Stern Pioneer. A little bit of a sandwich. There goes the squad. So yeah, it's a good idea, but you got to be careful when doing it. We've got M20 in production for Wix, lieutenants on the field as well, coming into this engagement. Should be able to swing it now. Didn't end up retargeting. Just ends up retreating. Well, actually he's coming around the rear here, getting a good incendiary grenade off, forcing the retreat, so ultimately both players have had control of their fuel and their cutoff the entire game. Kind of unusual for Kholodny, but seeing it here, oh, maybe not the best idea, putting your sandbags on your own cutoff. Often backfires, but I suppose he didn't actually end up wiring off his heavy cover anyway. Could end up backfiring him as the game progresses though. Oh wow, we're actually seeing a battle group going down for Señor Jäger. Don't see that too often. And here comes the M20. Ooh, big burst on those Vox friends. Might go down here. M20 on the chase, on the negative cover. he's having some trouble going around the corner. You have rifles in the retreat path. Looks like he's going to try retarget, and he gets the kill. Nicely done. Now Stern Pioneer is next on the chopping block. Fox is moving in for a Faust. Stern Pioneer is low. Faust connects, but full retreat for Señor Jäger. He's going for the flak half track. He's mad. We'll see how he gets on with it. I generally find it very hard to use against all factions at the moment. Maybe it's okay against US forces. We'll have to wait and see how he progresses. Anyway, now this Faust connected with the M20, trying to pull that back. Rifleman coming in to protect, and looks like he's going to try to do some capping whilst repairing it up. Cutoff has been maintained for quite a long time here for Wix. Well, the squad did sneak up to the fuel here, neutralizing that, but still quite a lot of neutral territories connected for Wix, so Señor Jäger getting the short end of the resource stick. Let's see if this flak half track can turn things around. Wow. Echelon ended up winning that engagement. That was weird. M20 just about back up to full, so ready to come back into the action, but speaking of into the action, flak half track, some hits in. We're still about 20 fuel away from the Stuart, which will be the natural counter to this. Just needs to save for a little bit, avoid losing his M20 in the process. No bazooka yet from Wex. And that squad took a massive burst right there. Upgrading the bazooka now, a little bit late. It's almost like the heavy cover is not even counting. Getting direct hits again and again. Worried about the flank, maybe an AT grenade, but it doesn't come through. Try and get some damage on those rifles as they retreat. Doing pretty nicely. Rebuilt Volksgrenadier for Señor Jäger. Up here in the north. And oh, could this be the end of another squad of re-echelon late retreat? Oh, that was a close call for Wex. Unusual to see him rebuilding the re-echelon. I thought he might just gamble not having them with no minesweepers, but didn't even upgrade the sweeper on them. That's the only reason I could think of to rebuild them at that stage. And because he did go for those re-echelon and this 50 cal, looks like he's not going to be going for the Stuart, so that should allow the flak half track a lot more room to maneuver. Señor Jäger though is going for a Raketen, but as you can see, if Wex had gone for the Stuart, it would have been on the field by now, and his flak half track most likely would have died. At least, you know, the squad got near enough for a Faust. So by going for that extra Volksgrenadier, he very easily could have lost his flak half track to the Stuart. Flak half track staying at a good long range outside of the range of the bazooka. There's some good damage in long range. And good control up here. Señor Jäger pushing through the north. He doesn't know about the 50 cal yet, but ooh, M6 tank mine down there. Doesn't know about the 50 cal in the middle yet, but it would have provided some resistance if he did try to come through the avenue. 20 in the south, looking to do some damage. So he's going to take a Faust and then retreat. Opportunity is running out of steam up here. Nice long range incendiary grenade. Just side steps a little bit. Still do quite a lot of damage, should allow him, excuse me, to win the engagement though.
Crew, stand ready.
Okay, now I've got an MG34 for Señor Jäger. Back half track in the south now. Once again though, they're getting nowhere near flak half track, so generally you would need to be escorting it with flak half track at all times, because otherwise the Stuart could just pop out and kill the flak half track. But since Wicks didn't go for the Stuart, opens up that avenue. You have weapon racks as well as Captain coming in.
Weapon rack is now accessible.
So in fact he's going for Captain at this stage means most likely going to be heavy cavalry go for that Pershing. I guess he wants the AT gun to try help fight off the flak half track. It wouldn't be necessary if he just made the Stuart. Either way, Señor Jäger's had pretty good control of this northern fuel. Wicks really hasn't dedicated that many resources to regathering it. So he's definitely suffered a decent chunk of fuel losses. We actually have some bazookas now on the rear echelon there coming out of base. Of course the Captain does bolster the number of squads Wicks has on the field. He's got 2 of those free squads now. We're just going to jump into the building. Try to land some shots on the flak half track, missing there. It looks like they're about to get bullied out of the building. Getting rifle fire from both angles. M20 doing some good damage in the south, forcing away the MG here. Doesn't look like he quite got close enough for an AT grenade. And Wicks has been bleeding quite a lot of manpower, so hasn't managed to squeeze an AT gun out yet. Just managed to get onto the cutoff once again though. Kitten is there. Between smoking out. Didn't really need to, but it is safe than sorry. This heavy cover on the cutoff proving invaluable here for Wicks. Just even whilst he's outgunned by the STG upgraded Volkswagen, he is managing to hold his ground thanks to the superior cover here. Maybe not for long, flak half track coming in. Nice reaction times there from Wicks. That's the thing about the flak half track, I feel like its suppression is a little bit underwhelming at the moment, but its damage is actually pretty decent even against retreating squads. All these squads in the south. Looks like the fuel is about to change hands on both sides of the map. Very symmetrical match so far. Ooh, late retreat. M20 going to try chase down for the kill. Back half track moving up that way to maybe protect, but looking dead. M20 going to evac around safe way behind the shot blockers. Nice pick off there from Wicks. Slightly late retreat from Señor Jäger.
Crew stand ready.
Okay, out comes the truck, maybe looking to put down his tier 4 out here.
Mission accomplished. Volksgrenadier. Lay footings for Panzer HQ here.
Down the middle fighting these Stern Pioneers long range. Well, Señor Jäger's going to be able to hold the line there. Oh, and the tech structure gets spotted, taking some damage here. Only one squad at the moment. Back half track moves. Needs the suppression, otherwise... Okay, he's going to just flat out retreat, but did some good damage to it. Let retreat. Oh, Stern Pioneer's getting away so lucky there. Double Zooks firing at the flak half-track. One connects, does a wee bit of damage. Where's this Raketen at? Man, this thing has not been very well positioned so far from Señor Jäger. Only got one shot off on the M20 this whole game. Definitely a little bit underwhelming. But now the tech structure is up, so you know, no more harassing on this fuel. Makes it a lot more safe for Señor Jäger. It was also, you know, not too far away from Panzer IV, but this has been a reasonably high action game. Which, you know, almost 11 CPs now. It doesn't have long to wait for Pershing, really. Oh, on the negative cover there, taking some damage. Raketen moving up as a bit of baiting going on here. M20 pops smoke, attack ground. No, it gets behind the building in the nick of time. But yeah, another M20 mine up here. M6 anti-tank mine along with that one. I haven't seen any in the south, but there's a very potent, here's one actually, immobilizing as well as 400 damage I believe, maybe only 300 damage. But yes, very, very strong mines. I think it's 400 actually. I think Regal's at 300. There's that Raketen there. Okay, he's trying to creep around. And now M20 rotating. Nice positioning this time for the Raketen. M20 not paying attention. Uh-oh. Ooh, no smoke. Down it goes. No bazooka dropped though, at the very least. .34 holding the line in the south. And you know, VP's pretty much dead even between these two players, so very even match so far. You know, after Wix lost that M20, pretty even losses between the two. Take a look. So Wix has actually bled a little bit more. I think the units that he's lost have been less impactful. Ooh. Packowie now for Wix. Very good idea. Very easy to defend from this position. GMAP finally hitting the amount of fuel for a Panzer IV. But now Wix already at 13 command points. You can see the strength of these no-tech call-ins. As long as it's like a reasonably high action match. Call-ins and tech tend to arrive at the same time, at least in the 1v1s, maybe not in the team games, but... Oh, what is that? Okay, sneaky reposition of this MG. Let's see if it works out from here. Yeah, looking good. Can't really go for like a super deep flank because we'll run into the tech structure. So a good hold there, and Señor Jäger once again getting onto the fuel. Wix has the amount of fuel required for the Pershing, but because he went for the Packhauser. Okay, getting back in, had a bug splat there. It's gone forced away, Packhauser landing a decent hit, doing some good health damage. Here comes Panzer IV being upgraded with a machine gun, has selected his commander going for the elite armor. So, oh, what's he going to try to do? No, he's not going to get anything here. MG steal there from Wix. Gets gets away just... Maybe if he came forward, one of the squads tried to throw an incendiary grenade, get a little bit extra damage in there, might have been able to get the kill, but gotta react quick with those weapon steals. E4, meanwhile, in the north, doing some good damage, stopping the fuel capture. In fact, Wix is having a little bit of trouble holding on to his territory right now. You can really see the impact of him not having that much munitions so far this game. Doesn't have many weapon upgrades on all his units. You know, got a couple of bazookas, 2 bars on the captain, but that's it. Suppose he has planted a few of those mines as well. Ultimately, it is costing him in these infantry engagements. Makes use of the emergency repairs, getting rid of that critical. Getting off the damage. People ready to roll again. Wix needs to save, you know, another 300 or so manpower to get that Pershing out. So that's plenty of time for this Panzer IV to get some big damage done. Just got to make sure he doesn't take too much damage from these bazooka squads. Back half track in there trying to suppress. Looks like the re-echelon are going to make their way into the building though, so... Ooh, they're going down! Took so much damage jumping in the building. Re-echelon down. And no weapon drops. Bazooka drops. Now we've got an infantry support gun going to work on the 50 cal in the middle. Wix here collapsing. I think that was mainly on the back of that flak half track. Just the amount of damage they were getting blasted for as they were standing at the door was crazy. Echelon dropped so quickly. Coming forward, maybe looking for an AT grenade, but nothing doing. That flak half track working out well. Ah, so Vet 2, that's when it becomes a beast. 33% rate of fire, 25% damage, 50% scatter. So that is so many more stats of Vet 2. Meanwhile, Panzer IV just in here, dishing it out, but uh-oh. Pershing getting called in. P4 could be in some big trouble here. Boom. P4 trying to get out, pops the heat rounds, pops the blitz. Pershing not chasing. P4 briefly stops. And Pershing doesn't chase in. Threat of the snare perhaps. Ooh, but runs over the M6 mine, gets abandoned. Pershing can now clean that up. Goes.
Points are down to 300.
Kitten coming up to get some hits in. Pershing ruling the roost at the moment still. Wix has basically no map control right now. So it's going to take him a long time. Get his feet back under him and get his territory under control, let alone making some aggressive pushes. So Señor Jäger's got plenty of time to get his Panther out, which I imagine will be the response to that. Panther with heat rounds, a very good answer to the Pershing. It's really one of the strengths of this commander. Heat rounds. Very effective against the heavy tanks. And against light vehicles as well. 2-shot. Those pesky 400 health light vehicles. You've got the heat rounds activated. Actually makes, you know, a lot of the OKW tanks a lot more effective against Soviet Tier 3, specifically Su-76s and T-70s. You know, 2-shot those makes a big difference because, you know, Su-76 is pretty potent. Even into the late game otherwise. Got good penetration, good rate of fire and damage. So we got a 2-shot, it makes a huge difference in all the vehicle engagements. But that's completely unrelated to this match. And we're actually seeing a very late 221/223 coming in here for Señor Jäger. Maybe he wants to speed up his resource gain. Don't know if that's necessary. He's got pretty good map control at the moment. Ooh. So maybe investing in some more units would be more helpful. Panther charging forwards, popping the heat rounds, Pershing backing out, but there is the M6 mine here. So Panther might be getting baited right now. Ooh, Raketin comes in from the side. Panther just millimeters away from the M6 mine. Might have ended up dying there if he'd triggered it. Like, not directly to the mine, but maybe Pershing could come forward with the piercing shot and just blast it out after that. So it'd be about that amount of health. So lucky break for the Panther. Can now pull back. Doesn't even need his stern pioneers nearby. Pop the emergency repairs. Get that bad boy back in action. And this is really the ideal scenario for the flak half track. You've kind of navigated the early game where it's really tricky to keep it alive against your opponent's light vehicles. Now they've got no light vehicles to counter it. You just play conservatively with it. It can be a real thorn in your opponent's side. This is not so conservative. Having to back away, otherwise he would have got AT grenade right there. Still taking quite a beating from all the bars as well. SG working on squad in the middle. And the Packhowie returning fire. ISG nearly dead. Some grenade goes in. Opportunities end up winning that engagement. MG34 up here. Just hitting Vet 1 now as well. Using incendiary rounds. Panther back up to full, ready to rumble. He's actually got the tank commander on it this time. Switching over. Try to help them in those Pershing engagements. Understandable, because at the moment, as I mentioned, because Wex doesn't have all the weapon upgrades, Señor Jäger not actually struggling that much against the rifleman. Despite having no overs, he's actually, you know, having a decent time against the rifles. If Wex had a few more bars around, this could be a completely different story. But that does mean now the Panther is going to be very weak against the rifleman in these kind of situations where you want to force them away from the flanks. Without that machine gun upgrade, it's rather limp-wristed. Pershing finally back up to full. Let's do some fresh rear echelon. And coming down here to engage the Panther once again. Oh, nice tech round, and in response, heat shells have been activated. Calling in the tank commander artillery here. Wex a little bit slow to react. Ooh, MG down. Nice usage of the tank artillery by Señor Jäger. Okay, he's got his 223 down here. Looks like maybe he's also going to try put a tech truck down. Try to get out the King Tiger perhaps? I'm not sure. At the very least that means his stern pioneers will be more free to roam on the map. But I'm not sure exactly what his intended build is here. But you can see the impact not having the Pintle machine gun is against these rifles. Oh, grenade! Nice dodge. Yeah, they really just can't bully squads away on the flanks, which is the impact of that. But maybe once he gets the King Tiger. I really need the Panther for that. King Tiger also a pretty good answer to the Pershing. It just has so much damage and penetration on its main gun that the Pershing with relatively low health can actually go down very rapidly to the King Tiger. But you can see Wix with the triple cap now. Señor Jäger getting pegged in. Investing into this extra tech truck has slowed and weakened his field presence. Fresh bazookas on that fresh re-echelon squad. Gonna work on the flat calf track. Rapid pin. Gets away alive though. We should get into the south.
A capture point is being overrun.
Oh, we're reversing to the south. Opening fire now. Panther moving to respond. Still no AT gun for Wix.
The enemy is
Don't think he's got Major yet. Oh, he's got it in production as we speak. So maybe he's hoping to get a Jackson to help in the fight against Panther rather than just going for an AT gun right now. It's understandable.
A capture point is under attack.
Okay, he opens up, ends up retreating the squad to avoid the damage. Back half track though in here doing the big damage. Vet 4 now. Let's see how quickly it's doing damage. The kitten goes down in the middle. Panther chasing in for the kill on the Pershing. Kitten gets stolen. One bazooka connects. But it looks like that's going to be the end of the Pershing. Panther just needs one more shot. Oh, and he gets it. Lucky shot around the side. And Panther looks like it's going to escape with its life as well. Or maybe not. Oh, having some pathing issues. Rakitten getting some shots in here. Squad's trying to come in to support, but getting suppressed long range by the MG34. Squad's chasing in for more AT grenades. Rakitten coming around the rear. Looks like the Panther might go down here. We have one squad to help defend. Oh, back half track coming in, but may also take an AT grenade. Can the Rakitten get the killing blow? I think he only needs one shot to kill here, but I'm not 100% sure. Here he goes, setting up. Oh, bounces. Squad goes down here in the meantime. Oh, and Rakitten gets decrewed before can get another shot in. Heartbreaking for Wix. Pershing down and doesn't get anything in response. Also losing a rifle squad during that hectic engagement. Oh! A half-track overextends, takes AT grenades, so that is a consolation prize for Wix, because that was actually causing some big issues trying to cap on the flanks. No real conclusive winner in the VP battle at the moment either. Ooh, oh man, what happened? Señor Jäger just going full brain AFK, losing a squad of Volkswagens right there for no real reason. Oh, grenade coming in. Could this be another squad down? Oh, retreats into it. Nice attempt from Wix, trying to catch him not watching, and Señor Jäger was a bit quicker on the not watching, retreating. Grenade could have worked out. Sometimes the way they sweep it and maximize their damage, and from behind heavy cover should end up winning this engagement. Panther's back up, ready to roll. And Señor Jäger very close to avoiding the King Tiger, which I imagine is going to be his next purchase. Kitten actually regathered here by Wix, so that's a good steal. Still has the bazooka squads as well, so it's going to be able to put up a decent anti-tank army to fight off Panther and the King Tiger. And GMAD very low on squads, so regathering territory for him going to be quite slow at this rate. Wix did not end up building a Jackson, so means he's most likely going to go for another Pershing. Just hanging in there until then. Unusual that he just got no bars this entire match as well. Did have weapon racks, of course, you know, he's got these bazookas and whatnot, but he never got the bars. Nice pack hour usage. Barraging the most likely area for that squad in the center. Oh, and that is it. King Tiger on the field being upgraded with the machine gun. Looks like it's heading towards the south. We do have an M6 mine still down here, which could be relevant. See how pitiful the Panther is against infantry though. Tiger coming right around the bottom of the map here before getting involved. Kitten is in the middle at the moment. There we go, spots this rifle. Turret rotation on the King Tiger very slow. And here comes the Pershing. Pershing and Rakitten, a good spot to fight off the KT right here. King Tiger coming forwards, missing the shot on the Rakitten. And getting penetrated a lot by the Rakitten as well. There's a good hit in there, nearly kills it, but yes, he gets a follow-up shot here. Should get away. Switches targets actually now to the Pershing. Panther coming in, Panther popping the armor-piercing rounds. Looking for the kill on the Pershing. Before come the bazooka squads in defense. Can the Panther get the killing blow here? KT coming in behind this. Panther not on prioritized vehicles. Switching targets. Missing the killing blow on the Pershing. Now King Tiger looking for the kill. And he gets it. But the M6 mine goes off. King Tiger goes down to it. Ooh, man. Big loss there for Señor Jäger. Might have been avoidable as well if the Panther was on prioritized vehicles. Probably would have got the kill on the Pershing earlier, but without needing to get the KT involved for one last shot, and felt the need to back it away this direction to try to get out of the range of the AT more quickly. Is it costing him big? Finally get some overs for Señor Jäger. Grenade. But yeah, I mean, now you can see the army of Wix much larger. And as I mentioned, that Panther not very useful against infantry with the tank commander upgrade. Could really struggle to hold onto the VPs here. Wix going for them in a big way. He's got the officers going for the caps as well. Officers with the passive sprint, very useful in the late game for capping up the map. Here comes the Panther. Takes an AT grenade, takes a pack howie shot as well. see there's kind of like a little bit of a bug. The heat rounds are now causing every shot from the Panther to kind of shake the screen, more similar to what the King Tiger does. Señor Jäger still lacking a little bit in squads. Probably squeeze one more in before his next vehicle. I'm not sure what he's going to go for though. Whether he feels the need to try save for another King Tiger, or maybe he's just going to go for something like a regular Panzer IV. Maybe that's why he's saving his manpower right now. Oh. Panther takes some big AT damage, has to pull back. Does have the repair engineers though on his mechanized HQ. Capping up in the north as well. He finally has enough for the Ober LMG, pops it straight away. It's well on top of his priorities. Panther coming in, slightly low health. Try and force away his infantry. A little bit of damage, but could it be exposing his rear to an assault through the middle? And now Packowie looking for some tech truck kills. Oh, here come the bazookas on the Panther's rear armor. Panther trying to spin, trying to get away. Does so successfully, but going to be out of commission for repairs for a long time. Good grenade dodge there. Señor Jäger holding his ground pretty effectively. Maybe Captain needs to get involved with another good grenade. Opportunities end up losing this engagement thanks to that. And MG getting the long range suppression in on the Obers. Now making its way back to the tech truck, and no unit from Señor Jäger. I thought he was going to go for a Panzer IV because he's floating so much manpower, but no. He's just flat out floating it. Ooh, big hit from the Packowie in the middle. I think he really needs to focus on controlling the south VP at the moment, away from the Packhowitzer. Maybe if he builds a machine gun as well to help him hold on to it. Because we are getting it down to the shallow end of the VP pool. And VP's #1 priority at this stage. And to finally repaired up. Not the engagement he really wants to be taking though against the double Zook rear echelons. Finally get to Vet 3. More bazookas coming in. Supani's up here holding the line. Machines pushing through the middle. Oh, and fresh 50 cal for Wex covering the middle. Señor Jäger looks like he's going to go aggressive with the tank to try and force that away. Major artillery dropped on the HQ back there. Here comes the Panther. Getting repositioning. Oh, actually retreats. Full retreat in the middle for Señor Jäger. Similar story in the north though. The sandbags actually end up getting destroyed, so Stern Pioneers get forced away. But still Señor Jäger who's on the VP drain. And Wex just about there for the next Pershing. Señor Jäger also not too far away from the King Tiger now though. Ooh, and the machine gun going into this building up here should be covering that VP pretty effectively. Again, Panther fighting against the bazooka squads. Kind of a waste of its time. Over's out here on the negative cover. Taking some big damage with the bars. Grenade. And they're coming back in. Squad's moving to the north, but the machine gun is there. I think that's a stolen MG34. Can he work his way to the side into the machine gun's blind spot in time? Not paying attention, I don't think. More Majorati, and this time the HQ goes down. No more free repairs. Storm Pioneer's trying to crawl around the side. But now we have some rifles coming in on the rear. Could use the concussive grenade. No, he doesn't have the munitions for it quite. And here's the Pershing. Looks like it's making its way to the north where the Panther is right now. King Tiger coming in response. But Wix looking likely to take a triple cap right here. King Tiger not nearly as mobile as the Pershing, making its way rapidly to the north. Oh, and engine damage on the Panther, a little bit careless in his control. Pershing, oh, wrong side of the cover, big hit from its main gun. Looks like that could be the end of the Stern Pioneers. There they go, Pershing taking no prisoners, and Rakitten getting in for another shot. And another shot penetrating as well. Lucky Rakitten, and here comes the Pershing for the killing blow. Oh, everything penetrating on that Panther. King Tiger coming in from the rear. Pops the heat rounds after the first shot's already connected. Pershing trying to back away in a safe direction. King Tiger just needs one more shot. Those heat rounds so deadly. Oh, misses the killing blow. Unfortunate for Señor Jäger. Engine damage coming through on the King Tiger. Not going to be able to get another shot in. And triple cap running. Señor Jäger surrenders. Looks like he lost maybe another squad here in the south whilst all that was going on. The squad of Volksgrenadiers. Oh man. So you guys got to see the perils there of going for the tank commander upgrade on the Panther. Just really can't fight infantry at all. I think that's generally a tank I tend not to go for it against, because as you saw, you kind of need the Panther to just fight off squads on the flanks. And yeah, without that Pintle machine gun upgrade, it's just not very effective at all. Señor Jäger, this game was well within his rights to win, but just, yeah, got a little bit cocky with his Panther, and then some nice Rakitten chase down. Ends up losing that veered up Panther, and King Tiger doesn't quite get revenge. Seals the game. I think Señor Jäger as well, floating a little bit too much manpower throughout this game, and maybe not taking these smart engagements, trying to push through the middle too frequently, running into the Pachaui and other defenses that were there, rather than trying to play for the flanks a little bit more away from the pack howitzer. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.